Okay, for this intro video, we are going to talk about social justice and racism in front of my antique floral background. My light's going a little funky right now, so excuse me, but you know, that's all part of the performance, isn't it? You don't get to stop midstream. Um, so this will be the hardest of all the sections, and I know that. I'm aware. I know that it's really easy to be offensive or to get offended. And I ask that you give me a little grace if I say something and let me know, because I do have a neurological impairment that screws up my words sometimes. And I might say something without me realizing that I've said something other than what I think I'm saying. Hope that makes sense. It's a struggle in and of its own. But anyway, I have been aware of race, specifically black and white, since I was 3. And I will explain that in probably what's going to be my first video posted to this section. But I had this grandma who, you know, my whole family's from Idaho. I wasn't born there. I was born elsewhere. But my whole family was born, raised Idaho. My grandma was born in 1927. And I really am so proud of her. R.I.P. But she used to say to me, those goddamn Dixiecrats. I had to go look up and see what the Dixiecrats even were. But I did. Thank you, Encyclopedia Britannica. But she would fly off the handle all the time at those fucking racists. She hated racists. She hated racism. She understood. Now, yeah, she had her own generational, regional blind spots. I mean, you know, we all have blind spots until you know you don't know. And even when you know, there's more to know. But she raised my mom right, in that my mom was as good as she could be with her regional and generational stuff. And I think that it really laid the groundwork for my life for something I call the observational black experience. I don't have a black experience. I don't, know what it is to be black. I'm not black. But I have opened my eyes my whole life, and I have witnessed, and I have intervened when I could. But this is one of those areas where, oh, it only takes one person, does not count. It just doesn't. One person can't make all the changes that need to happen. And I really felt powerless, especially as a child. I stood up whenever I could. I love that we now say, anti-racist rather than I'm not racist. No, I'm an anti-racist. Have been my whole life. And it kind of goes into, my black friends will say, I'm sick of educating white people. Like, I don't want to explain this, that, or the other for the 20 millionth time. It's not my job to educate you. Google it. White people need to educate one another. Well, call me an ambassador to the white people, because I have no problem telling y'all what I know and understand. Does it mean I'm going to be right all the time? No, God, no. Does it mean everyone in the black population will agree with me? Of course not. It's a bit diverse in, region, culture, you name it. But I think it's important to talk about. And I might not be able to solve anything, but I'm willing to talk about it. And we need more people willing to talk about it. So if you're here and you don't know why Black Lives Matter, I might not be your cup of tea. You may like some of my stories about my childhood growing up as a military brat. Have at it, Hoss. But this is important to me for a few reasons. Number one, I hear people say all lives matter to the response of Black Lives Matter. Now, I'm sorry. If you're white and saying that, here's the thing. Society's already established that your life matters. Now, we're going to go talk about marginalized people. And I fucking hate the term marginalized. They are people that we have stuck in the margins as a society. You know what? Black lives matter. Brown lives matter. Red lives matter. Female lives matter. Trans lives matter. And on. It all matters. But if you've already been established as mattering, step out of your fucking privilege. And help lay the framework of a society wherein, God, my grandchildren's era. I mean, I'm 50, so, hopefully the son will decide to go start family. It's probably another 10 years off, but so let's just say. I'd love for my grandchildren to truly be living in the world that my generation was promised. And that's kind of it. This is the stories of observational experiences that I've had, of things that I want to talk about in that area, in activism that I did that was anti-apartheid. I started doing that at 12. It's kind of cool. And then there might even be some stories in there where things haven't gone so well between me and somebody of another race. Thank God, I don't think I've ever been a Karen. I really hope I've never been a Karen. So without further ado, thank you for this opportunity to share with you some of my life experiences and the reasons that I think that this is a conversation worth having. And I hope you at least watch the first video if you've gotten this far. Thank you.